Hi, Nick here from DBmarlin, and in this short video, we're going to have a look at what's new in DBmarlin 6.1, which is now available. So the big thing we've added this month is the support for MongoDB. MongoDB is a very popular non-relational database or NoSQL database. So it's the first NoSQL database we've done. Anybody that follows DBmarlin will know that we currently support 10 different database platforms, and those are all the relational database platforms like Postgres, MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, and so on. And Mongo is the first non-relational we've added. But what you'll see here, if we just jump into a short demo, is that it looks exactly the same as all the others. So we've made it consistent. So whether you're looking at a SQL Server or a Mongo, it doesn't really matter. You're going to get exactly the same view here. So in this case, I've got a 3-node replica set, and then I've also got a standalone, and I'm just going to group them by the cluster so you can see here. So the replica set, I can click, I can see that most of my activity is going against node 3, which is the primary, node 2 and node 1 not doing very much at the moment. And then I could drill down into node 3 to get a more detailed view of what the activity is on this particular Mongo node. Now you can see the tabs across the top, again, exactly the same as for all the other platforms we support. So you've got the total amount of time spent processing within the database, which is this figure here, over whatever period you've got selected. So in the last 30 minutes, we've got 10.5 minutes roughly of database time. And then you can see that plotted over time. So the green bars are the database time, and the orange line is the number of statements that were executed. We've also got some events. In this case, these are just my load tests that I'm running every 5 minutes to generate some load. But you would also see things like schema changes and parameter changes automatically overlaid onto the timeline for Mongo, exactly like you get for other platforms. And you can break that down. You can break it down by program or user or whatever you want to break it down by. And then you can get down into the statements down here at the bottom. So these are all our top statements. I can filter if I just want to find my find commands. I can do that. I can click into my top one. I can see here, do I have, here's an example where we've got a find command. It's filtered on username and quantity here. And here you can see the execution plan below, and we can send those off to the Copilot, which is our built-in AI assistant, again, just like you can with other technologies. So here it analyzes that plan, and you can see the output here. It's coming back with some tuning tips. So number one, create an appropriate index here. And so the index in this case is going to be on those filter conditions, so username and quantity, which are the things that appeared there in the filter. So you've got the full Copilot support. Just going across the top here, we've got the groups activity, same as for others, where we strip out bind variables. We have the SQL statistics view, where you can see more statement level statistics like number of executions, average response time, the CPU seconds or nanoseconds in this case, and various other statement level metrics. We have our node level statistics, like number of active sessions, number of executions, bytes in, bytes out, opt counters like number of deletes, number of inserts, number of updates, and so on. We have our events, which would also, like I said earlier, show you schema change events and parameter events. And we have our list of parameters here. So these are all the Mongo configuration parameters for this node. And like with others, we're keeping this not just the current values, but we also store this historically as well. So you can look back in time and see what the parameters used to be. And you can use any of the comparison reports, so parameter comparison report if you want to compare parameters, but stats comparison, activity comparison, all of these work. So if you wanted to compare, say, Mongo node 2 of my replica set versus node 3 of my replica set and generate a report, I could do that and see most of my activity here is on node 3, which is currently the primary in this case. So all the comparison reports work. Likewise, DB versions now supports Mongo as well. So you can see these 4 Mongo nodes. If I click here to filter on those, I can see the standalone Mongo is running Mongo 7.0.23, and I can see when that was released. Latest available update is 7.0.28, and I can click through to the release notes on that and see what updates I could get if I was to upgrade to that version. And if I scroll across here, you can see things like end of life, end of support dates, whether it's still receiving maintenance updates. So pretty much everything you would expect there is now available for Mongo. So anybody that's already using DBmarlin on other platforms, if you're used to using this on some of the other ones that we already support, maybe you've got some Mongo in your environment, take a look at DBmarlin for Mongo. If you need some trial licenses, just let us know, and it would be good to get your feedback on that. So keep listening and look out for more videos coming soon.